Arsenal are outstanding. Look, it pains me to say this as a Tottenham fan, but the football they're playing, how defensively sound they look, the signings they've made, and the signings they're going to make in the remainder of this transfer window, it's hard to see how Manchester City are going to stop them this season without really bringing through a first team transfer yet. Arsenal 2, Leon 0. Look, it pains me to say this as a Tottenham fan. I cannot stand them, but they are brilliant. They're absolutely brilliant in more than one way, more than two ways, more than 5 ways. They are the way they manipulate the ball in tight spaces, the way they're so strong defensively, the amount of chances to create, the possession they have, the ability to play it out from the back. It ticks every single box of a Premier League winning side. If you're new to the channel, please go down, hit that subscribe button. 91% of everyone who's watched the content in the last 31 days is not subscribed to the channel. The road to 20,000 subscribers is well and truly on. We're less than 500 subscribers away now from 19,000. And if you enjoy this content, if we get 1,000 likes, that'd be absolutely glorious. Big up to every single one of you. Thank you for showing support of the channel. Get your comments in down below. Let me know your thoughts on Arsenal 2, Leon 0. And what Arsenal did today, in terms of the scoreline, it's not the most dominant win Arsenal will have going forward, but they're nullifying teams to minimal shots on goal. That's one of the most strongest part about a team. They're limiting teams to opportunities on goal. Bayer Leverkusen, only 2 shots on target against Arsenal. Against Lyon today, only 2 shots on target. It's very, 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 very underrated part of their game. Their defense, so strong, it's ridiculous. The best centre-back pairing for me in the Premier League. You know, I know Manchester City won the Charity Shield yesterday, but I think Arsenal's back line in terms of the centre-backs is 100% stronger. And it's probably, on paper, the strongest team they've got. You could maybe argue Calafiori over Zinchenko. You could maybe argue Leandro Trossard over Martinelli. But the midfield, Rice in the 8, Partey in the 6, Odegaard in the 10, Saka on the right, and the centre-backs, both of the centre-backs on the score sheet. On the score sheet, David Raya, Ben White. And I don't think they needed to make that many changes today. You know, they made about 6 substitutions, 7 substitutions, something like that, maybe. Oh, I tell you like it was 8 substitutions. But for me, minutes in the tank, an important win. You know, it's not the weakest side. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, a familiar face from Arsenal fans. Matic, a familiar face. You know, Ben Rama, ex-West Ham. Tolisso, ex-Bayern Munich. And then they brought on Jesus, Kiwior, Trossard, Jorginho, Nelson, Calafiori, Miles, Lewis Skelly, and Ethan Nwaneri. This Arsenal side, when you throw in the depth they've got at defence with like Tomiyasu, Kiwior, Timber, you know, Calafiori, the defensive options they've got is ridiculous, right? Let's talk about the goals. Declan Rice. One of the most underrated parts of his game is his delivery into the box. It's not just putting the ball in a dangerous area. It's putting the ball in an area where the defenders are going to attack the ball. And not once, but twice Arsenal scored from set pieces. Last season, they had the most goals in the Premier League from set pieces. The most goals. I'm not going to lie. If they get, well, when they get Mourinho over the line in the next couple of days, if they bring in a forward who, when he comes into the 11, there's not a drop-off on performance, who can create chances, who can get assists, get goals. It's hard to see right now. It's hard to see right now how Arsenal don't win the league. And I've caveated this a number of times. Unless Manchester City sign a world-class player, which they could, but unless Manchester City sign a world-class player in the remaining 19 days, 20 days of the transfer window, I think Arsenal win the Premier League. Do Arsenal have a higher drive to win their first Premier League title under Mikel Arteta than these City players have to win their 5th Premier League title in 5 years? Who's got more of drive? When you look at the technical players in the squads, very, very even. The only thing Arsenal don't have is the 30 goal a season player, which what Manchester City have in Erling Haaland. But what Arsenal do have is more goals collectively from their defenders and midfielders than City. And they've proved it again today. Gabriel and Saliba, dangerous ball going, in swing across from Declan Rice. Both balls attacked in dangerous areas. And you can't allow defenders like Saliba and Gabriel time and space in the penalty area because you will get punished. And that's exactly what happened today. I thought Kai Havertz was very, very good. But it's more than that. When you look at the stat, like Lyon aren't the strongest side. They're definitely not the worst side. 16 shots, 6 shots on target, 56% possession, 71 passes more than Lyon, a higher pass accuracy, less fouls. Look at 10 more corners. And this Arsenal side are going to get better and better and better. When you put a Marino in, and the midfield options they've got for central midfield / DM is Declan Rice, Thomas Partey, Mikel Merino, Jorginho, and of course Vieira. And then attacking options, you can play Havertz in the 10 if Odegaard's injured. You've also got Odegaard. I thought Zinchenko had another good game. It's a very, very, very strong, convincing, composed performance from Arsenal. And what this tells me about Arsenal going into next season is they're going to be even stronger defensively. They're going to be even better going forward when you bring in another forward. If that's going to be Gyökeres, if that's going to be Victor Osimhen, who knows? But one thing I will say is we will know how strong Arsenal are after the first 3 away games of next season. Aston Villa, North London derby against my club Tottenham, and Manchester City away. If Arsenal can come out with 7 points, and I think every Arsenal fan would take 7 points, because these are the games last season where Arsenal lost against Villa, they drew against City, and they beat Spurs. So they beat Spurs, drew against drew against City, lost to Villa, and beat Spurs. So they got 4 points. This is the sort of games where Arsenal need to go and show the world that they want to win this Premier League title. Arsenal need to go and show the entire world that they mean business. They look dangerous. Very, very, very dangerous right now. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I think with a performance like this, you're just flexing your muscles. You're defensively sound. Very, 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 very strong defensively. You're going forward one of the best teams in the league by a country mile. You've got a midfield balance. And right now, I'm going to be honest, you throw in one more forward and Man City don't sign anyone, in my opinion, that they win the league. They are so, at the moment, so devastatingly strong. They're an outstanding footballing side. But now you've got to go and get over the line and win the silverware. They've scored 6 goals in the last 2 games in pre-season against Lyon and Bayer Leverkusen. They beat Man United. They've beaten Man United, Leverkusen, and Lyon in pre-season. They lost to Liverpool. I expect Arsenal next Saturday to go and put 3 or 4 goals past this Wolves side, and then we're really going to see what Villa are made of. They're looking at bringing in the likes of Gertruda. They've brought through Onana. They've lost Douglas Luiz. If Arsenal go and beat Villa, we'll then see what they're really made of. Because I think they beat Brighton. Who knows with North London derby? Form goes out the window. But right now, they're looking really, really strong. They're looking confident. They're looking composed. They look like they've got a lot of goals in the locker. And right now, I'm going to be honest, I don't know if Manchester City are going to win the league. I'm going to do my Premier League predictions next week. But as it stands right now, it's hard not to choose Arsenal as the favourites when they get Marino and when they get a forward over the line. Like I said, if Man City go out there, sign a world-class forward, a Wirtz, a Musiala, someone of that ilk, then it tips the balance back in City's favour. But right now, Arsenal are doing everything they can to put themselves in the best possible position of winning this Premier League title. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you have subscribed. Make sure you like the video, and I will see you all in the next one. Thank you all for watching.